You wake up on time. You do what's expected. You answer messages, finish tasks, pay bills, smile when required. From the outside, everything looks fine. But inside, something feels strangely quiet, not peaceful, empty. You're not falling apart, yet you're not fully here either. This is the most dangerous psychological state because nothing is obviously wrong. There's no crisis forcing you to stop, no pain sharp enough to demand attention. So you keep going, day after day. Your mind switches into survival mode without you noticing. It learns how to function without feeling too much, to move without asking why, to exist without fully living. And the scariest part is this. The longer you stay here, the more normal it feels. You don't feel broken, you feel muted. And that's exactly how people disappear while still breathing. Your days start to feel like a loop. Wake up, work, eat, scroll, sleep, repeat. Not because you're lazy or unmotivated, but because your brain has learned efficiency over meaning. Psychologically, when life becomes predictable, the mind stops asking questions. It replaces curiosity with routine. You stop choosing your days and start managing them. Everything turns into tasks to complete instead of experiences to feel. Even happiness gets scheduled for later. When things go well, you feel relief, not joy. When something goes wrong, you feel irritation, not sadness. Your emotions flatten because your nervous system believes stability is safer than intensity. So it turns your life into a checklist. And slowly, without realizing it, you confuse productivity with purpose. You mistake being busy for being alive. At this stage, people often say they're fine, and they truly believe it, because numbness doesn't feel like pain, it feels like control. Your mind learns to turn the volume down on emotions that once felt overwhelming. Excitement becomes rare, sadness becomes distant, even love feels quieter than it used to. Psychologically, this is emotional blunting, a defense mechanism where the brain protects you by reducing intensity. But protection comes with a cost. You stop reacting not because nothing matters, but because reacting feels risky. Feeling deeply once taught you that it could hurt, so your mind chose safety instead. You still laugh, but it doesn't reach your chest. You still care, but without urgency. And the most unsettling part is that this state gets praised. People call you mature, stable, strong. No one sees that inside, you're slowly fading into emotional silence. Here's the part no one warns you about. To keep functioning without feeling, you make a quiet psychological trade. You trade depth for stability, passion for predictability, aliveness for control. And at first, it feels like growth. You're calmer, less reactive, more composed. But beneath that calm is something missing. Your nervous system is no longer responding to life, it's managing it. You don't chase what excites you because excitement feels disruptive. You don't sit with discomfort because numbness is easier. Over time, your desires shrink to fit the life you already have. Not because you found peace, but because wanting more started to feel dangerous. This is the twist most people never see. You didn't lose yourself suddenly. You slowly negotiated yourself away, one safe choice at a time. Comfort feels like rest, but psychologically, too much comfort dulls the mind. When nothing challenges you, your brain stops releasing the chemicals tied to desire and anticipation. Dopamine doesn't respond to ease, it responds to pursuit. So when your life becomes overly managed and predictable, wanting starts to fade. You don't dream big because dreaming reminds you of what you're not doing. You stop feeling hunger for more because hunger would disrupt the balance you worked so hard to build. This isn't laziness, it's adaptation. Your mind adjusts to a life where survival is guaranteed but meaning is optional. And slowly, ambition feels childish. Curiosity feels unnecessary. You call it being realistic, but deep down, it's resignation wearing the mask of wisdom. One day, usually in a quiet moment, something cracks. Not dramatically, no breakdown, just a sudden awareness. You're standing somewhere familiar, doing something ordinary, and it hits you. Time is moving, but you feel untouched by it. Years have passed, yet nothing inside you has expanded. You realize you've been present for your life, but not engaged with it. Psychologically, this is when the mind briefly drops its defenses. You feel a strange grief, not for something that happened, but for something that didn't. The risks you never took, the feelings you postponed, the version of yourself that stayed hypothetical. It's unsettling because nothing is technically wrong, and yet everything feels incomplete. This is the moment people describe as emptiness, but it's more precise than that. It's the realization that you've been alive on paper, but absent in experience. This is the quiet truth that lingers after the realization fades. You were never broken. You were protecting yourself. Functioning became your armor, and numbness became your shelter. But a life built only to avoid pain eventually avoids depth, too. And depth is where meaning lives. The haunting part is knowing that nothing external trapped you. No villain, no single mistake, just a series of reasonable choices that slowly disconnected you from yourself. And here's what stays with you long after this thought appears. If this state was learned, it can also be unlearned. But unlearning requires something your current life avoids at all costs: feeling, risk, uncertainty, aliveness. And once you see that, you can't unsee it. Because from that moment on, the question isn't how to survive your days, it's whether you're willing to actually live them. If you enjoyed our video, please like and subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Thank you.